session is a slam poetry contest. And so we've been asked guys who wanted to do the performance of their poetry here today. So this is the first Slam Jam poetry contest, and hopefully we'll do another one in maybe 6 months or so and become a tradition here. So welcome to the Slam Fest.
As I gaze into your dark and bruised eyes, I ask, why are you attracted to abusive guys? Is it the fantasize of loving a thug with the sense of security he provides? Tell me what happened to that beautiful smile. It's like the peace suddenly died inside. Constantly asking why you couldn't see through his lies. The best kept secret is that you aborted his child. Screaming at the mirror, seeking why. Not wanting to end his precious life, you start to cry. Realizing the defeat that's consuming all other desire, you start to tear out your hair, hoping it'll erase the nightmares from your mind. You poor, innocent child. You see, you're not alone in feeling as you do. You've been violated by the only man that you thought you knew. You never had a father, so it was him you ran to. You see, you sacrificed you dropped out of school, and now you feel trapped by this fool. Clenching a pearl handle 22. You know in the situations to catch dudes. You're feeling damned if you don't, but damned if you do. Life, it can be so damn cruel. And in the blink of an eye, happiness can turn its back on you. You poor, beautiful angel, is it your fate or is it the fact that you gained a little weight? For him to strike you is never okay. You say that you're not ashamed, but you're shielding your eyes from faces and pedestrians in the next lane. You're no more than my bitch, is what he proclaimed. But my man loves me, is what you're convinced to say. I can see you are treated as a castaway. Remember witnessing your mother's man beating her in disgrace. It's like a cycle. Over. It's repeated day after day. You want faith in the phrase, no pain, no gain. It could be understood that you're searching for praise, starving yourself to retain Halle Berry's shape. You're longing for love, but he's playing you anyway. Relinquished by his every touch. Loving the feel of him grabbing your butt. Wishing that one day he'll be the man behind his every word, but he has forced you to believe that no other man wants you in this world. That's not true, beautiful girl. While you cover your arms from every eye on earth, we can still see all the cigarette burns. If it's so right to have him mistreat you, then why do you feel so hurt? Tears run from your eyes, recalling the decision to give this monster your virginity. He was never sensitive, disregarded your feelings, planted his seed while screaming obscenities. I can understand why so many women are devoted feminists. Listen, him abusing you is a serious issue. No matter if it's physically or mentally, escape with this newfound wisdom, because the grass is a lot green on the other side of the fence. If it's never been mentioned, you're vital to the human existence. Because with your strength, your tenacity, there wouldn't be a future for the world's precious children. Only if you will pay close attention to your intuition.
Good morning. Many times in this life, we start something and we won't finish it. But I stopped by to tell you this morning that the race is not given to the swift, nor the one that's the strong, but he that endureth to the end. I stopped by to tell you to see it through. When you're up against a trouble, meet it squarely, face to face. Lift your chin, set your shoulder, plant your feet, and take a brace. When it's vain to try to dodge it, do the best that you can do. You may fail, but you may come. See it through. Black may be the clouds about you, and your future may seem grim. Don't let your nerves desert you. Keep yourself in fighting trim. If the worst is bound to happen, spite of all that you can do, running from it will not save you. See it through. Even hope may seem but fertile. In your trouble, you be set. Just remember you'll face it. Just what other men have met. You may fail, but fall still fighting. Don't give up, whatever you do. Eyes front, head high, to the finish. See it through.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Slam, jam, ham. We are in the slammer, that's for sure. Some of us are trying our best to get out of this jam. Muslims don't eat ham. Bam, lamb, cram. Man, look at all the Bama fans. At times, we are as simple as a lamb. Therefore, we are rather crammed, and at times in this joint, rage becomes our cage. Damn, the dam broke, and we all wrote a rhyme concerning this time. Let's all drink some lemon lime, which will make us all feel better this fall. Let's all reflect on who or what is causing us problems. God has the answer to everything and can resolve all our pain. We can all get on a train out of this rain. The night is bright. The stars shine the light. Let's do what is right. We can take a hike, life on a bike. Take the children out to fly a kite. That's it.
Who are you? I asked. Looking to the clear glass of reflections that's cast. Why do you even have to ask? I'm the one that sits with your angels that show you love and keep you positive. But I'm also the one that wants the demons to help you see your last. Why do you torture me so? What have I done to you? It is not what you've done to me. It's what I choose to do to you through the mask you choose to see through. And so I walk back and forth. Me and this reflection, having wars face to face, eye to eye. You want me to be your reflection, but I choose to be the Lord's guy. Why? Why do you cause me such nightmares every night when I'm sleeping in my bed? Because I choose to be the one that has the key to the thoughts in your head. Oh yeah? Yeah. So what can I do about that? I don't know. Maybe you need to have a seat. Let me take the show. Let me drive, and I'll show you how things go. Oh no, I want no part of you. I know what you choose, I know what you want, and I know just what you want me to do, and I choose not to. And so I walked off. Walking through my house, I choose to go out and take a drift. My spirit needs to live from all these things that got me hanging over the edge of a cliff. This thing I see in my mind, I don't know what is going on in my thoughts. I'm unfocused. I need to refocus. I need to get in line before I go back and face that, which looks into those painful mirrors that could be panes of glass that could foretell my future's turn. So I go back home, more focused now, more dedicated to conquer this beast that chooses to leave me on the ground laid waste, to say the least. I know it's a battle that's very hard that I gotta fight through. What am I to do? Who are you, I asked. But it gave the question back and said, no, you should ask, who really are you? Whoo! Boy, you blew my mind in. But I know what I got to do. I gotta take these shackles off my feet so I can dance. I just want to praise the mind of freedom and liberty so I can have a chance. And so I gave a glance and I looked into the mirror once again. And I said, you are my enemy, my avowed enemy. But the Lord is my friend. And with that, and that help, I will bring about your end to that mirror.
I told her she was amazingly gorgeous. She didn't believe me because she was black. Her fortunes of pain and insecurity, her purity flowed, her melanin glowed, and yet she found no value in it. Bending over backwards to feel more valuable, she went and placed a price tag on herself. Although priceless to me, she stuck herself on the shelf. The same sales rack with snacks, hoping to catch another impulse buy, but the crazy thing about it is, I'm still willing to stick by it. But I admit, I'm tired of being skinned deep. I told him he was intelligent, courageous, and everything else. He didn't believe me because he was black. His body and mind mathematically mapped a massive constellation, and yet his conversation was as weak as the misinformation used to keep him in the streets. Sleep, unprepared, unaware, and uncaring. Sharing the attitude of the fatherless. He never met his father, yet he followed in his father's footsteps because his son never met him either. And when his son has a son, which will be his grandson, his son won't know his father nor his grandfather either. It's strange. I mean, he should face everything and rise, but he forgets it and run. Fear. Fight, flight, or freeze. I don't know about you, but I'm tired of being skin deep.
The incarcerated have been dehumanized to the point that they're as expendable and easily discarded as used condoms. When one's used up, replace it with another. I know the thought of a used condom seems crude, even rude, because used condoms shouldn't be discussed in certain company, but neither should the incarcerated. Yet when you think about it, as disgusting as it makes you feel, what's left in there is potentially another human being, only deposited into a man-made sleeve, restricting its potential than being discarded by the rest of humanity, becoming mocked and ridiculed, made the punchline of countless jokes, all done in the name of safety and convenience, with little to no mess. But the only way for this to work is that humanity has to view what's in there as something disposable and useless, garbage, waste, something that will never amount to anything because it doesn't have any value. The thing is, it's this thinking that's preventing what's there from reaching its potential, hindering it from growing and maturing, becoming a part of the rest of humanity, because what's there has ultimately been dehumanized. The same can be said about the incarcerated. They've been made into something other than human because the rest of humanity has forgotten that there was ever the potential for humanity there. They've become faceless, raceless, nameless, and classless. But it doesn't stop there. Not only have they become faceless, raceless, nameless, and classless, they've now become separated by the very clothing they wear. And not only do the incarcerated lose space, race, name, and class, they're also separated from knowledge and information. Social interaction is highly frowned upon. The families of the incarcerated are discouraged from any type of association with the ostracized, lest they also be viewed as criminals for birthing such an abomination. Then they're issued a part number to replace their name, further stripping them of their remaining tie to the human race. There's no talk of rehabilitation, acknowledging them as human beings, even though this is the Department of Corrections, and no talk about forgiveness and restoration, even of the people who have demonstrated that they have changed and are capable of rehabilitation despite their circumstances. The funny thing is that when Alabama's officials are called, then yes, by all means, forgive, and if you don't mind, forgive, because you know we are able to change, unlike those inmates. And one former governor, when caught said that we all make mistakes and should find it in our hearts to forgive. And I agree. A lot of people incarcerated in the Alabama Department of Correction agrees. Many who have done decades agrees. Men and women in this overwhelmed, overpopulated prison system who are no longer the people that they were, who've done all they can do to move beyond the mistakes and decisions they've made, we all agree. Yet prior to getting caught, this governor didn't feel that people charged and convicted of crimes warranted mercy, forgiveness, or second chances. Criminals have violated the trust and sanctity of the citizens of Alabama, and locking them up and throwing away the keys are the only just options. And for $850 million, we can keep it that way. That was the governor's view. It's true, we have violated the laws and most of all the trust of the people of Alabama. But if you get to know some of us, you'd see there are way more options than discarding us indiscriminately. Now, I'm not making light of this situation. I know the gravity of it, how it affects many outside our immediate circles, how it affects the state as a whole. Hell, the state's leadership feels that it would be more productive to fund penal institutions than learning institutions. But when politicians talk about forgiveness for their bad and many times illegal decisions, remind them that forgiveness and mercy are not reserved for politicians or people with authority alone. Forgiveness is for all who come with a contrite and repentant heart, even convicted felons. Jesus himself discriminated that with, of all people, the criminal hanging next to him.
Right.
I remember growing up in the streets of Illiton, dancing on the side of the road, until my grandmama came and slapped me across my head and said, "Boy, you got one more time. They let me catch you outside when it's cold." Until I went back into the house and I looked at it again, I said, "Grandmama, please, let me just go back outside one more time. She's so fine. She want me to give her some candy and we can go to the store." She said, "What? If you don't get your, I'm gonna knock you out." I said, "Oh, Grandmama, I love you still." So we went to the bathroom. I snuck it out the door. I went back into the house, but my grandma was standing at the door. She said, "What? Come on, let me give you this one more time. You looking for a good time?" She said, "I got a ride for you." She said, "Get in the car." I said, "No, Grandma, I'm straight." She said, "What? You got to go see your doctor." She said, I said, "Where the doctor at, Grandma?" She said, "Downtown." I said, "No, Grandma, I'm still hurt." She said, "What? Get your in that car." I said, "Yes, ma'am." So as I walked to the car, I was strolling. I was trying to think about a way how to get out this jam. My grandma had my report card and she didn't give a damn. She said, "Boy, you got one more time before you get a ill." And I got your, I said, "No, Grandma, that was just a typo. I wrote it on the paper." She looked at me and she said, "What? I got you one more time." So she called my mama. My mama called me. I said, "Mama, Grandmama trying to beat me." She said, "What? She love you." I said, "No, she don't. She got a switch and a stick." She said, "She gonna kick my ass out the car." She said, "Get in there quick." I said, "Mama, please come get me." She said, "No, what? You got one more time before I come on around." So I left out the house. I came back in the house, but I didn't know where to go. I sat down on the couch and tried to be quiet. So my daddy came in the house and said, "What? This is your last time."
Have you ever wondered why all the target practices black silhouettes and white? Black, printed in a white word. Numbers on my chest, X marks the spot. Whether hands up or not. Whether running or sitting in one spot. X marks the spot. As if we were buried treasure. X marks the spot. Honey. This is a wild game. Xbox, PlayStation. Man, this is a wild game. X marks the spot. But not because we're in on eyes. X marks the spot. Because black men are always the bullseye. Prison yards remind me of the wall of a big game hunter. Ha! This fine specimen here, I killed while I was in Chicago. And this is my Ferguson kill. He almost got away, but the X was on him, and I always hit my target. Shots fired, shots fired, shots fired. Officer down, need assistance. Target. He had a gun. So I shot him 60 times. I feared for my life as he was running away. Target practice. Black man always a target. Okay.
Silence. Let me ask you a question, but first, I must first introduce myself. I am the father who never put down the roots, never truly loved their mother, never even attempted to be the man his children needed him to be. Days of old laid to playing taking games, which led to me reckoning more games. This I will always claim as my fame. Just as loyalty and passion flow the same, so does emotional and physical stimulation lead to pain. How do I begin to confront the loved ones my decisions have taken me away from? I had spent the last 17 years locked away from my children. My oldest daughter confronted me with anger. How could I ever leave her alone and never fight to regain her presence? Had I been the one to place her in harm's path, the perverted in her safety zone, all the strange men who had found their way into my daughter's bedroom in the middle of the night. Guilt and innocence aside, my own poor choices had put me in the prison of my own making. My life, count time, pill call, chop call becomes my new norm. Did I know all the pain my being incarcerated had caused? Was I happy? The separation from my family, the toll on my loved ones, all the wasted time, the warehousing of many bodies, my fruitless effort to prevail against a flawed reality incarceration, the dark hue of dominoes and polka dots arraying the inner spacing, projected calmness. Why had I resisted depicting my environment for so long? Life begins over again. I'll stop right there.
Fun, hopeless, fun, no purpose, just another day. The smell of jungle mentality and garbage decay. The sound of hustle and bustle, like children at play. The harrowing, fire coming down, fire coming down, fire coming down. We scramble to put the toys away. Fun, hopeless, fun. I start my daily routine. The black top balance, stepping out on the scene. The heat of summer make me sway and lean. The bad man bound to the same lot. He got that greeny green. Fun, hopeless, fun. Step in. I have what you're looking for. The sneaky peek handoff. 2 for 1 stick. I hit the door. The back block circle. Puff, puff, give. Puff, puff, give. Slowly, I fall face down to the floor. The time-lapse memory wipe. The next day, I want some more. Fun, hopeless, fun. Wow. Yes. My doggone can't fail.
Mama said she missed a step in the recipe, but it didn't register in me the connection between missing steps and falling. See, I was about 10, OH and a dime, where we lived in the hood, or some say the projects. The point is, we was poor miners, not experienced prospects. Always dreaming of gold mines and broke mines. I used to run up the stairs, AKA the steps, always rushing to get to the top. I used to skip 2 steps on what Ice Cube would say was a good day. But when I went for 3, unfortunately, that was a bad day. I knocked myself out. But when I woke up, I was the man of the house. Mom, what happened to my dad? He stepped out of line. So I told him to keep stepping. End of story. His story, yes. But not my story yet. Listen, you can't expect to go from childhood to manhood with no adolescenthood or adulthood training. In my hood, that ain't nothing but campaigning for unplanned parenthood, pretentious prodigal sonhood, patsy prisonerhood, or being planted in a plot for good. Well, maybe a earn, because these days, when you can't pay the cream, you get cremated, baby. Still not connecting the dots between skipping steps and falling. I kept skipping steps and falling. Mama's ruined cake in the flesh with stupid icing. I woke up this time in the delivery room as my first son exits the womb. Fake manhood to real fatherhood. I cradled this new life. Son, maybe one day you'll find husbandhood if you ever decipher the steps of finding a wife. So in the name of doing the right thing, I got a job. But having a little money plunged me from fatherhood back to childhood where I first got robbed. These are tools, not toys. Yeah, if you say so. Hard-headed, I tried to skip some more steps, but I failed again. Yes, failed again. Lost that job, but I woke up a soldier in basic training. Now I'm marching in steps, left, right, left. The plan was to break down the clowns and build up an army man. Boy, can you follow orders? I think I can. Maybe this would end my history of step skipping. Apparently not, because as a parent, I did not take the steps to teach my seed the need to stop ending up in the wrong hood, just like me. Presently parked in a prison performing pastry slam poetry. Just then I got a message. It's from my mama. It says, son, your son just crawled from the bottom all the way to the top step. I found a new recipe, so I'm baking a cake to celebrate. Thank you.
My inner child is hurt and wounded. I lack sufficient coping skills and decision-making skills. I'm also fearful of what I don't know. Possibly never leaving prison. But this feeling has been with me for a long time. Has caused me to wonder about death. Sometimes I wonder who I really am. There are parts of me I can't understand, I can't account for, feelings and emotions I can't explain or express. For the most, I feel alone with no one to talk to. No one to understand me or really even care. The closest person to me, I sometimes feel attention like I'm a pet. Kind of like a little brother who he wishes would grow up. I help other people, but I need so much help myself. I wonder if he does. I'm very selfish, money hungry, but those things don't satisfy, not even temporary. Ignorance is bliss, knowledge is death. The more you know, less you know, the more you don't know. I feel confined in this place, oppressed by its very air. There's something dark at work here, and only the light can keep it away. Let us pray.
I decided to stop telling people I was innocent a long time ago. You see, before anything, I was black. And black innocence is a myth, a fairy tale. So telling people I'm guilty absolutely beats getting the people's eyebrow like I'm in a throwback wrestling match with The Rock and not in a conversation. You know, one eyebrow raised, head tilted, lips smacked to the side. You know, no one ever tries to hide the judgmental stares of silence, riding the thought process of innocent? Yeah, right, that's what you all say. You see, before anything, I was black, and before you say anything, I know what it's like to be face to face with Down Thomas, twisting and prodding fingers in my emotional wounds on my personal favorite. Well, it's not like you've never done anything wrong and gotten away with it. You know, the polite way of saying, even if you are innocent, you're guilty of something. See, we taught that black innocence is a myth. It doesn't exist. Being black, I risk being faced with physical beatings or the ultimate stripping of life like Victor Russo or Emmett Till. Before you say anything about that, I wonder if Lieutenant Jenkins would have been fired if Russo was black. I think about Edmund G. Speaks, how they all were promoted. You see, I face the sickness of a system that has true hate for every inmate, the new form of black code. I admit, once in prison, there's little respect for color. The only difference being prior or post, the system ensures every little black book is judged by its cover. Guilty, filthy. If I don't fit in, you got the right to kill me. Before anything, I was black, and before you say anything, my blackness is anything but a badge of honor. My blackness was a death sentence. My blackness was my ancestors' knowledge that with the surety I'd be in a strange land, not of my own, hunted by words like come. Let us deal wisely with them. Tell me if that doesn't fit the description of prison. My lungs black as coal miners waiting to die, suffocated for air. I'm the unprepared heir of COINTEL pro fighters, unprotected, unrespected, and suffering for rare thoughts of freedom, justice, equality, or fair treatment, which is always just out of reach. Without reason, my blackness is demonized. Eventually, believing the eyes, my blackness begins to rationalize. If I am black, I must be that evil, that criminal, that ungodly, or that lost. As a matter of fact, nobody should want to be black. Don't you hear how improper we talk? How can I whitewash? Who wants to be blackballed, black-hearted, black plague, black days, pair crossed by black cats, driven in a black Maria, which is prison transport van, a red line to where the blacks stay. Black raised, black as a cage. Before you say anything, I was black. But this isn't paint. I can't wash the black off my face. I can't take the black culture on and off anytime I wish to acculturate. Before anything, I was black. And before you say anything, my blackness is anything but a badge of honor. See, I remember going to trial for the first time, confident there was no way I could be found guilty of a crime I ain't committed. I can recall the jury being in deliberation for maybe the second or third day. My lawyer came to me asking if I was interested in a deal. He could push for negligent homicide or manslaughter. But I'm innocent, I say. The look he gave me was one of disbelief. See, my lawyer never doubted my innocence. The look he gave was disbelief that I would actually believe my trial had anything to do with guilt or innocence. He knew what I didn't know at the time. He knew that no matter what was alleged or denied, I was guilty. Because the only good Negro is a dead Negro. Black innocence is a myth. So I decided to stop telling people I was innocent a long time ago.